Lights, camera, action.
In a studio where local filmmakers talk to other filmmakers about the inside world of film.
Cut.
That's not the script. It. We'll fix it in post. Do you wonder how films are produced and what really goes on behind the scenes? Well, stand by. Filmmakers Kevin Munfrey, Victoria V.A. Jones, and Carson Hype Ferguson explain all the details. Right here on It. We Will Fix It in Post podcast.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Whenever you're listening, I thank you for doing so. I am once again Kevin Munfrey, and this is We'll Fix It in Post. I am here with my colleagues, Carson Hype Ferguson, Victoria V.A. Jones.
What's going on?
And today we have a guest with us, Memphis director, Flo Gibbs. How you doing?
What's up, y'all?
What's going on?
Family?
Thank you for coming back and talking to us one more time.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here. Appreciate you guys.
So today is Women's History. Well, this month is Women's History Month.
Every day is Women's History Month.
Every day.
Hey.
Yes.
So with it being Women's History Month, I thought it would be good to kind of talk about women in the film and television industry. So I'll start off with this. What's the first maybe film or TV project you saw that you kind of saw it had a woman's touch to it?
Any Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
I had a feeling it was going to go there.
Yeah.
I'm going to take your word on that because as soon as I see Lifetime, that means it's time for me to leave the room. So,
Oh, no.
I used to try to do that as a kid, but my mom would let me.
Because it's family time.
No, it's
No,
not.
no,
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Absolutely not.
No, definitely not family time.
I was going to say the Cosby Show, but that has a different connotation now. So,
I mean, the Cosby Show itself ain't bad.
no.
Yeah. But it was
It
more
just
so
feels
family,
weird to
though.
say now.
I mean, no, it's really not. I mean, like you can separate the man from his actions, regardless of it being hypocritical.
We ain't going to go there. Anyways.
So, Flo, yes.
Oh, wow. I'm going to have to go ahead and agree with VA. Any Lifetime movie, but I would probably say Now and Then. Remember that old movie, y'all, with like Rosie O'Donnell? It was like a becoming of age movie. And it was a group of like teenage girls and kind of would go back to, it's kind of like, I can't compare it to Sandlot, but imagine Sandlot, but like all females.
Kind of like the traveling pants of, what's that movie?
Yes. But it was not baseball related at all. It just made me feel like, you know, women empowerment and women issues and young girls and becoming of age as a young woman and just seeing friendships among some cool gals. Yeah.
Okay.
I have nothing to add to that.
I know you don't.
It's
okay.
No, I'm like
I was going to say living single, but
Living single?
What?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's-
God, yes.
Ah.
yeah, living single was more like couples. It was like couples in a big city.
Couples. We talking about the same show?
Like there was only 2 people single on Living Single.
3.
And there were 2 of them were in a relationship that they didn't know they were in a relationship with, and they played with that the whole time.
Actually, 4.
Sinclair and old girl was going out the whole damn time.
Well, they were all single at some point in time. It's just living single.
Yeah, for like 2 episodes, right? No, I'm like, because like the 2 had
they have
that
to feel some things out now.
the two whatever, the most dominant 2 whatever were always going at each other. They end up getting with each other in the end, but there was always that tension between them. Be like, oh, they together. They just don't even realize it.
I'll halfway give you that. I'll halfway give you that.
Hey, look, I be catching stuff. I'm just saying. Hey, even if they ain't throwing, I'm catching.
So I kind of looked up some like statistics for this. Now, this is all based in like 2019. So percentage wise, take a guess of how many moviegoers are women.
Oh, wow.
80.
You say how much?
I'm going to say about 70%.
I said 80.
You said even the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
You act like you finna throw a number that's gonna just. I'm pretty sure you're gonna give us a number that's gonna really like stun us, but
Maybe not.
Like actually spending money and going to the theaters, percentage wise, maybe it's in the 30s.
See, that's where I was thinking too. Turnout is 50%.
50.
that was better than what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna make sure I put a number real high. Okay. Now it might not be the right number, but I'm gonna make sure I get a high number.
It was a higher number than I thought because I would originally thought it was in the 30s. So now, again, this is 2019. Out of 100 grossing films, women represented. How many percentage directors you think?
Probably 2, 1, actually
Yeah.
1.
What happened to going high?
Well, I'm
gonna give it 15%.
15.
15.
I like that number. Carson.
Why you ask me?
because you want your opinion.
Oh, you want my opinion now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Last show we recorded, my opinion was trash. Nah. Let's go 3%. Like, cause you talking about like direct.
I guess I was the only one that went high because I was thinking 20. I was wrong. It was actually 10%.
Oh, okay.
But at least it's double digits.
Okay.
Yes. I'm happy to know that. Because my
Now,
heart was in the same place as VA. Like, definitely, I was like, yeah, but I was like, no, let's give us a go.
I appreciate that form of thinking.
Yes.
Because VA went high at one point, and then it was like, nah, let me be a little, let me not bet all my coins on
Let me
this.
come back down to reality.
You ain't bet all your money on that one.
That's what I see.
You got to think though, like they've always had crucial roles. If it wasn't for women or whatever, Star Wars wouldn't have been the way it was because George Lucas's first wife, like, heavily pushed back on him.
Yeah.
Like, we would have got more of the prequels than we would have the first 3 films.
Mm.
Which, depending on who you ask, the prequels look like young Shakespeare compared to, you know what I'm saying, like the first 6 movies.
No.
I don't know. Like, look, I'm gonna push that one away
I've
from
seen-
myself.
I've seen maybe two. I've seen maybe 2 Star Wars films in my entire life. I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah, whatever he says about Star Wars is what goes. 'Cause
No, that's not.
That is not my. I wouldn't even know what questions to ask about Star Wars. I just know they're in space. Now, one thing that was a little surprising is
What? They're in space.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
please.
ahead.
I know
Go ahead.
nothing of those.
Please continue. Please
So-
continue. That is such a
Shows what I know. Now, casting directors was a lot higher than I would have imagined. That was at 70%.
I was gonna go in the
Yeah.
80s because
Yeah.
they're real good at picking the people.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're women.
There's a lot of good editors too.
Yeah. There's editors on that list.
No, sorry.
What about cinematographers?
That would have been interesting, though.
No.
Yeah.
That's like 19%.
You said cinematographers?
Cinematographers, yes.
19? I
And
mean,
writers.
you said 19%?
That and writers, 19%.
I can believe it. Like, that's a higher number than what I thought it would be, right?
I thought it would have been cinematographers, and maybe just because me knowing you, I thought it would have been in the 30s. So I would have lost my money there too.
No, I would have went lower, 19%.
I'm guessing you would have gone lower too, Flo? That sounds
Yeah,
like a yes.
I would have. I probably would have done like maybe 7%.
I think editors would probably be higher.
Yeah.
I think editors be higher than cinematographers. Like, if I was to
Yes.
guess.
Yes, I would agree.
That's just my opinion and thought. And in some of the history I know of some of the films that are in like the top 50, Turner greatest films.
Yeah.
A great deal number of them have editors. Like the lady that worked on Jaws.
Yeah.
She fought with Steven Spielberg left and right about not showing the shark. He wanted to show it because they spent all this money on the shark. She's like, nah, less is more.
Would have showed it too.
Because she realized probably how cheap it looked at times up close.
When was Jaws made?
80s,
80s, yeah.
like early 80s.
I was gonna say
late
late
70s.
70s, yeah.
That was actually the first first summer blockbuster.
That's Well, that's
I mean, back
understandable.
then, that shark looked pretty real to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to think how many times they showed it though. If they had showed it close up, like she even talked about it like many years later, talking about like there was some stuff on the cutting room floor where it don't look too good, even of the time.
Oh wow.
That's
and
crazy.
you spend all that money.
And I got one more to ask y'all. Yeah, this probably disappointing too. So out of, I'm
That's a good setup.
I'm sorry. Like I'm rereading this now, like wow, I would have lost my money on this too.
Man.
So out of the Golden Globes, Academy Awards, Directors Guild of America Awards, Critics' Choice Awards, which one you think more women were nominated?
Golden Globes. Critics. Nah.
Name all of them again.
Golden Globes, the Academy Awards, which is the Oscars, Directors Guild of America, or the Critics' Choice Awards.
And which one was what now? Where women were nominated the most?
We got the most nominations.
I'm gonna say Critics' Choice Awards.
Man, I hate that y'all was right, but yeah, 10% of the awards were from the Critics' Choice. And you all want to guess the least likely?
Oscars.
Bingo. So,
Of course.
Of course. Of course. Why wouldn't it be? You know what I'm saying?
Sorry to give out this depressing news, but there is there's a bright side and a downside. So
let me hear.
The bright side is within 2020, 2021, there was an uptake of women cinematographers, women directors, and editors. And so there's much more representation.
Well, that's because of the initiatives.
Yes, it went right back down last year. Sorry.
I bet.
It seemed, at least from my research, it's more of like this up and down swing as far as women representation in film.
Right.
So hearing that, is it kind of, and I can start with Flo, is it kind of frustrating to hear?
I don't know. I think it's a bit frustrating. Yeah. Because it's like, we're already like at the glass ceiling and we're trying to break through. So anytime it's like reverse of that, it's not a good look for women.
You know what I would like to know with those numbers? Like how many women are independently, funding their films versus like, going through studio.
Yeah.
Because like, dudes are more risk takers, as far as like, throw caution to the wind, not really think about it kind of thing.
Right.
And I'm just wondering, like, does that have a factor in it? Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like it's definitely a huge factor in it. Because especially with studios, you just especially nowadays, it's copy and paste. You're just trying to get a film that sells, or you just go with the people who.
Yeah, but I know some writers or whatever, and I know a couple women that they have their stuff optioned, like a number of other people, but they're just not making certain films.
But then it's also the risk taking, because some studios, the women who make these certain films, they don't want to risk take it for themselves. They would rather play it safe, and then at the same time they're gonna play it safe. Oh, we've done this before, so this works over here, so we're gonna keep doing this.
It's a formula. It works. Yeah,
it's a formula. So guarantee there's a lot of women who come into those studios and who pitch stuff, and the studios are like, no, we're not doing that unless you change it. And the women are like, well, we're not changing it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like
it took forever for the Emmett Till story to come out based off of a bit of what VA is talking about now.
I like, which is surprising when they have like, certain movies. Like I remember watching with the best, either the Best of Enemies or the Worst of Enemies. I think it was the Best of Enemies, that movie with Taraji P. Henson.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Where she met the KKK dude or whatever that actually funded like the young, like basically they had like the Boy Scouts of their group.
Right.
And this dude was like hard, steadfast, like, I hate y'all. and then like,
oh, that's
they came to actually have a mutual understanding because they ended up respecting each other.
Right.
And then dude was like, yo, this ain't right. Because he saw the human in him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was a great film.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like a studio film. But I'm like, why can't films like that be made? Because like that's not like a blockbuster or something you gonna go to the theaters. But that's definitely like Amazon Prime. That's prime streaming type film.
Right.
Uh, you know, some of the movies with like the Redbox specials, like the documentary Searching for Sugar Man, which I believe was the first Redbox, you know, produced documentary. You know, the guy in Detroit.
Yeah, I think
He went like multi-platinum in South Africa, and then record companies hide money from him. And then he's like this almost destitute dude or whatever, day labor. Then all of a sudden, like, because somebody was curious, they found who he was.
Right.
And then now this dude's like a multimillionaire. I mean, like, he was like, what, in the 60s maybe? Had like multiple kids, like struggled for a long time. Was like multi-platinum artist like in South Africa alone. And
where you getting it? I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
no, I'm just saying, like, I got lost in the story behind that, but it was like it was a Netflix documentary. I'm like wondering why like movies like that aren't made, you know, like, because like that's a woman focused film,
Right.
not the Searching for Sugar Man, but the Best of Enemies. That's a woman focused film, woman centric film, and I think Taraji P has like credits in there.
Probably so.
I think so. Like that was a great film.
Within that, you said the word Netflix. So I'm gonna just take that and transition to my next question.
Oh God!
Hey, F out everything I just said.
So I'm looking for something for me to move on. So thank you for Netflix. Now, for just kind of inspired women-based films, do you see a lot of them on streaming network, or do you see more of them on streaming networks
Then in the theaters?
than theaters, network television?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But at the same time, that's just, you know, I believe there's a lot of women behind that too. You know what I'm saying?
As far as like
streaming networks, I think women kind of half like run that, so they are able to get those stories in there like that.
Mhm.
They're not talked about, but pretty sure that's the reason why.
now,
Are you saying that in comparison to like in the theater, in the box office? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because it's
absolutely.
like, you know, box office, you're gonna run into the major studios.
Yeah.
Who are
Yeah.
just the major studios who have been there forever. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Now, with you both being directors, would you rather have your project on a streaming platform or in theaters?
it don't matter. I don't care. Either one.
No, I don't know. I'd probably say streaming for me.
Because you want the greatest impact, right? Or
That's
the most
right.
people watching.
The reach, the being, you know, the film being accessible, you know, right in home,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
and those residuals and all of that other great stuff that comes along with that.
So you said you'd rather have yours in streaming. What is it about streaming that you feel would be more impactful for a film that you would work on?
So yeah, definitely streaming over like, you know, in theater at the box office, just because of the accessibility, you know, the reach. I think, you know, it being like at your fingertips. I think there's nothing like that. And then also the residuals and all the other great things that come along with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be for me personally. I mean, I'm nothing against, you know, like I would of course, you know, like that as well. But if I had to pick one over the other, it'd definitely be streaming.
Now, do you both feel like that could be the streaming, like a Netflix or Amazon, or that could be almost like a new route to theaters?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've been on that path for a minute. Yeah. Because I mean, even now, you know, versus like back in the day, like you can actually go to the movie theater and see a movie, and then I'll come home and be like, damn, I could have just seen this at home
Right.
and just paid the $20. You know what I'm saying? And not, you know what I'm saying? And pop my own popcorn and shit. So, you know, yeah, absolutely. You know,
No, I think for me, I say both because, you know, I go to the theater and I do sit at home and watch stuff. So for me, I would like my stuff in theaters because it's a theater. people come to see it. Like they're paying money to come see something that you created.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're getting out of their house. They're going to the theater to
That's
watch
true.
something that you
That's true.
created because they want to look at it. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference when, you know, it's on a streaming service. You're already paying for it and you're just clicking through stuff and you run upon it like, well, let me see what this is about.
Still, you're making a choice though.
Yeah, but it's an easier choice.
It is actually probably a harder choice because so much stuff at your fingertips. Because you could sit up here and watch TikTok videos like for 12 hours.
Yeah, but
12 hours.
No, I'm giving an example. Like, because you're competing with everything for attention. Everything.
Yeah,
like the
that's true.
theaters is kind of different because you know we're used to that, like almost like it's like a higher status almost, like if you have a movie four-walled.
I'm going for the highest status.
I mean, that's cool.
So the theater is still the highest status for you.
The prestige
because-
of it, like that. Yeah, I think nothing tops the prestige of like the feeling of having your film in like the box office and people actually paying for a ticket and choosing this is what they're going to do on a Friday or Saturday night to go see your film. You know, I guess nothing beats that. Yeah.
I don't know. Like nowadays, right? If a bunch of people were streaming some, like having like movie parties at their house, and were like reposting it on Facebook or whatever or Instagram, I think that would mean a whole lot more to me.
I don't
too.
like people. I'm not gonna do that.
No, I'm sorry. So you wouldn't have me and Kevin over?
Not at all.
Man, like
well,
that's some
thank you
bull, man.
Well, thank you for your honesty.
Man.
So you really think that y'all gonna come on my spot and we just gonna watch a movie together?
I would invite you over to mine. But hey, see, that's the hey, you remember when that rapper said, "What's the difference between me and you?" That's it right there.
But I'm saying we're gonna end up not watching the movie, and we're gonna talk about something totally different outside of the movie, and probably end up watching YouTube and watching crazy videos on YouTube.
We can do that too. But if we set up movie time, we set up movie time.
No,
Honestly,
that ain't how it
knowing
works.
Victoria as long as I had, if she called me and was like, "Hey, come to my spot, we watch movies," I'm gonna think it's a setup.
Right? You gonna think he's gonna get whooped when he stepped to
Hey,
the door?
what did I do to you? Like,
Right.
that would be a red flag for me. You what? Excuse me?
Yeah. But that's kind of dope. Filmmakers watching films together. I think that should happen sometime. Y'all should do that.
No, it ain't happening.
Yeah,
Not even on Zoom.
I done hosted like little get-togethers where
That's
I done
cool.
did that. I'm saying like look, and like you don't have to express how you don't like people again. you don't have to do that. Like I'm just saying, like for me, it was cool to like get together with certain people and be like, hey, this movie just came out. Like say like John Wick, for example. I would get together with like 4 or 5 people, whatever, and I watch that. I was like, there's very few movies I actually want to go to the theaters now. Because like, you know, it's just so much convenient. Like, I can make a little drink. I ain't got to worry about sneaking it in. Look,
They have it at the theaters now.
for how much?
I don't know.
Is there a 2-drink minimum? I'm saying seriously, like how much?
Oh, it comes at a price.
If the popcorn and the soda water cost X amount of dollars, I can only imagine how much the liquor costs.
Soda water.
Don't even do that.
So, Flo, we talked about this before, but you know, Zendaya is about to get paid $1 million an episode for her series that she's in.
Was it Euphoria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
How much?
$1 million an episode, 1 million an episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and see it
Pretty cool.
on my heritage, just see if we're related. So, because I do need a new cousin.
But at the same time, have y'all ever watched this show?
No, I've never watched.
Well, I seen like one episode of this show, right?
I've seen
And
a few episodes.
She plays a drug addict, you know what I'm saying? But the things that she goes through in this show with this character is it's
Extreme?
It's extreme.
Yeah.
So my thought about it is for this next season, are things going to get more extreme to the point where she's like, I'm not doing that unless y'all paying me.
It always has to ratchet up. I mean, because you have to always have conflict. But I'm like, I like the only like drug things that I watch is like Drug Inc. and like the documentary type things. I don't really like watching drug characters. I don't even like watching drug dealers for the most part.
I mean,
I just me personally, I was like, unless it's like a sympathetic figure. If you can give me like more Walter Whites, I would be more into like drug series.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, I never watched The Wire for that reason, only because I thought it was like kind of perpetuating like the whole stereotype.
right.
But I'm like, I hear it's a great show, and I've seen clips,
Yeah.
and I don't know. This is me personally.
Hmm.
That's my personal thing.
Well, I'm just saying, she's about to get paid, So the show is
And it's HBO.
it's up there.
Yeah, it's HBO. But I think she produced like the second season and was like the youngest like producer to get nominated for an Emmy for it. So
She won.
I think
though.
like
she won that.
oh,
Emmy.
did she win? Yeah, so
Or
she
did
won.
she win a Golden Globe?
I
No,
thought
she
she
won
Oh, no.
both of them. She
She
won
won
the
both?
Emmy
Okay.
and the Golden Globe.
Okay.
So of course
I
that
think one
impacts
was an
pay,
Emmy, yes.
right? The awards and stuff that impacts pay.
Right.
Now I'm just thinking of like we brought up HBO. Do you think like these I don't know call these sub channels or whatever, but like the HBOs, the Showtimes,
Mhm.
Stars? Do you think they're a little more kind of risk? They're more adaptable to taking risk on.
They always been, because you got to think, you got a baked in audience. So if
Yeah.
somebody's paying a premium for something, they're going to watch it. Well, I'm not going to say that all the time now, because Hulu is like an example
Right.
Mhm.
where it's like a second tier kind of streaming service.
Yeah.
So it's like the
Mhm.
second option, and it's not somebody's first. Somebody's going to have like Netflix or something else first. But
Yeah.
like if I'm paying that premium for HBO, you best believe I'm watching every episode of Adabisi.
But I think when people pay those, like when they subscribe to that, I think what's happening is like it's for a specific show.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it might not even be for any other reason, but just so that they can see this specific show. So yeah, they might not
Yeah,
even
back
watch. 'Cause I know I'm guilty of that. I might not watch anything else on it, but just like
Yeah, just that one show.
yeah,
I used to do that with certain shows. I wouldn't buy the service. I would go to iTunes and just buy the show outright.
Like we know we're talking about power.
okay,
No. Seriously, like I did that when I used to watch The Walking Dead.
yeah, yep.
I
Yeah.
would go to iTunes, buy the show, and I had to wait till midnight to download it, and I wake up early to watch it,
Yep.
so
Yep.
people wouldn't mess it up for me the next day.
Or you
Same
just don't
here.
listen to them.
F them. I was like, no, you know how hard it is to avoid like 30 people.
And social media.
They can't wait to. They were like, I have to
That's
tell
how
somebody.
That's how they look.
I have to tell somebody.
Really?
It was almost bursting out of them. Did you watch it? And then whenever somebody watched it, you had to leave the room because like they had to talk to each other about what happened last night.
Mm. So back to Flo.
My bad.
So why do you think pay in Hollywood is so hard for us to be equal in it?
Whew, that's so loaded. I would just have to say, in general, just women's pay across various different industries. Just various different industries is always going to be less. It always has been. And like I did a little bit of research. I think according to the U.S. Census, like 2019, I think females were making 85 cents to a dollar. Men were making $1, they were making 85 cents to that. I think also it's lack of support as well. I think that's a huge thing. Lack of resources, support, and just the general wolf in sheep clothing mentality that not all men, but some men actually have, right? And just you know what I'm saying? Like
We ain't talking about these guys, you know. What
we
I'm
talking
saying?
about, we're not talking about these guys, not these gentlemen.
What you talking about? Like, hey, look.
I'm being
fully
that.
aware.
I love men. I'm not being
trust me.
that.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that.
No,
We wasn't worried about that one bit.
No, that's not even what I was going to talk about. I was like, look at the record industry, for example.
Yes.
Puff Daddy, old P Diddy himself, like
Brother
loves
Love.
to talk
There we go.
all day about how people like taking advantage, and what kind of contracts he signed. He signing people to.
There you go. Voila, magic.
I'm like, hey, it's hard to be in it and not be part of it. It really is.
Yeah, I mean,
Because then you're gonna have to be a principal person
So-
where everybody else ain't got no principles.
So I didn't even know why you was bringing that up, but you did bring up something interesting. So I wanted to kind of take it. So do you think that maybe entrepreneurship in film is a way of kind of could change that narrative? So instead of being part of a system, enough women owning maybe production companies.
Yes.
Until there's a point to which now they have to acquiesce to a woman's form of thinking to how this show is aired. Certain things that maybe a male producer go, well, this has always worked. And to go, no, this is not what we do now. Or to a point where they can go, okay, we're just not going to shoot at this studio, to where it gets to a point where they could lose money.
that's also to say that you got to take a stand. So who's willing to take that stand? You know what I'm saying?
So you look
Of
at there.
course. We
No. Seriously, disruption. And it's like, and if it's gonna sell, why not offer it to the people? I'm like, it makes no sense to not tell the stories that other people want to hear and or present it in such a way. Remember, I'm off the cuff anyway. I'm out of it. I'm out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like the cookie cutter approach, and it's not working the way it used to, because law of diminishing returns. You can only do so much of the same thing and get the same return.
Yeah, you're right. But there's a lot of people who at the same time don't want to take that risk, and they're still making the money.
The Marvel films aren't doing as well as they used to.
Yeah, but that's Marvel.
That's an example though.
Yeah.
That's a cookie cutter formula. It used to be like, hey, anything that you did and you put Chris Hemsworth in with a shirt off, it's gonna make X amount of dollars. That's not the case anymore. You don't have a license to print money anymore. Not with that. You're gonna have to tell something more compelling.
But they still making their money though.
They're making their money back, but they're not making as much money, and the costs are ballooning too. Like all studio films are like that. If you look at it, and then this stuff goes cyclical too. If you study like film history, like they almost like a bunch of studios almost went bankrupt until somebody came in, disrupted it, and changed the whole thing. A la the Jaws and all that stuff. And that documentary that was made by that one lady, the daughter of the guy or whatever that funded a lot of like New Line Cinema films and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Without him, we would have no Terminators or all these other things. And then something had happened politically or whatever, and they basically shunned him, pushed him out. But then everybody forgets about this guy. I spoke with his daughter or whatever on Facebook or whatever. Great documentary. It's like the Hollywood Banker, I think is the name of it. Great documentary. His daughter did a hell of a job. I was like, damn, if he was alive, I want to meet him. I honestly, because the documentary's done so well, I wouldn't mind like actually speaking with her over the phone.
Okay. Now, did you notice there's also kind of an emergence of women showrunners, like the women showrunner for Power, as a black woman. I believe one that recently won Emmys. I got about the school.
Albert University.
That one.
Elementary.
Is a woman.
That's actually a very good show. Very good show.
So why do you all believe that women make great showrunners?
Because we women.
Well, I need a little bit more than that.
Go ahead, V8.
Hey. Well, let me ask Flo this question. Maybe I can get
No, but for real, because of the fact that I am not man bashing, okay?
Oh, here we go. If she got to do a disclaimer, here we go. Hey, buckle your seatbelt up. I hope you're ready for this ride.
I think we'll be.
But
you think?
But we feel a little bit different. We feel different. We put things in perspective differently. You know what I'm saying? So when developing a show, you're gonna see the aspects of everything. You're not just gonna be straightforward and see one point and then put in a little bit over here, put in a little bit over there, and that's it. You're gonna get the whole thing, the whole roundabout. You know what I'm saying? Because we gonna go into it, you know, thinking about this person, go into it thinking about that as the character.
Detailed. Yeah, it's that detail.
Details.
Yeah.
So
as Denzel said, the hot comb in the kitchen.
yeah. You know, we gonna get all of the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get the last piece in the back.
That's why I would really like more people to focus on the collaboration part.
Yeah.
Because you need as many not cooks, but you need as many people there for certain inputs. You may need more tasters. You don't need that many cooks in the kitchen, but you need some tasters.
Yeah.
And you need the right people to taste.
So what about you, Flo?
No, I mean, I totally agree with what you said. It's just that personal touch and just looking through the lens of a woman. It's just, it's that touch. It's something different about it. And you just want to make sure that like everything is covered. It's just detailed. It all goes back to detail, just the personal touch and just detail to attention.
Right.
And making sure that stories are told and different, a sentimental side to things as well. To be able to also embrace other people. I think women are probably more diverse in thinking than men. Yeah.
So now I
think
want to
that'll
kind of talk about you two's like experience in making films. So, if you both ever had an experience while making a project that you thought to yourself, "This is only happening to me because I'm a woman."
All the time.
Oh yeah.
Let's flip a coin. Give me one.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't give you any because whoever listens to this, they're gonna know for a fact that I'm talking about them.
So,
I've had that experience for sure.
so let me make this question a lot more vague to save the innocent. What are things that you believe a woman would go through in filmmaking that would be that would make the process harder just because she's a woman?
Oh, you walk on set and walk with a certain group of people, and then they think that those are the people in charge and not you.
Yes.
And my thought process: why are they talking to them about this when they need to be talking to me about it? Do they not know who I am?
Mm-hmm.
So now, have you ever had? Now, I don't think about a situation where you're coming in as a director, but they're kind of looking at you as a cinematographer.
I can't say it because most of the time I am the cinematographer. I'm doing both.
Mm-hmm.
But would you ever kind of get the feeling of if they just looking at you as a cinematographer?
I gotta think. I mean,
I don't think it's. I think for me it's the opposite. They more assume that I'm the director than cinematographer, but yeah.
Now, do you ever have the issue of like even just directing people? Because I guess they may take being direction from men different than they would take it from a woman. Have you ever kind of caught that issue?
Oh yeah. But I meet the energy though. I got
That's a very polite way of saying
I like
cut your ass out.
I like that.
That's
I like that.
very.
I need that energy though, And I mean, you still have to be professional, right? You still have your name, your image, and But I say it in a friendly and some kind of sometimes family, like I'm speaking to family. It's like, hey, they come in and want to change. I've had just actors come in and just want to change the whole script. And then start directing other actors to change the entire.
Okay. Wait. So, how do you go? Hell no.
I swear to God to this.
she took a drink to that. Like, woo.
That's that you got me effed up moment.
Yeah. So, how did you meet the energy from a situation like that?
It's kind of like. My mom, rest her soul, but if I act a fool in the grocery store, and then I probably got my ass tapped in the grocery store, right? So if you're doing this publicly and you're being obnoxious doing this, then I have to meet you there and say, hey, I appreciate your creativity, right? I appreciate the creativity. However, this is the way that we're going to do this. And most times it's always a male. And most times they'll do this. They'll throw their hands up like this. I swear to God, this is the thing. Oh, my bad, Flo. It's, it's going on away.
Just got the
Yeah.
whole situation. Okay, the hands up. We're good now.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
We
yeah.
we
And then
got
they'll
an
come to me
understanding.
privately later on and say, I hope I didn't offend you. And I'm like, oh no, and I don't try to make, I'm not like quote unquote a bitch about it, but it's just like, hey, I appreciate the creativity, but that's not what this story is about. Yeah, that would be cool, maybe in like a sequel that we'll never do. But you know, but at the same time, it is what it is. But I mean, going back to even what you were saying, Kev, I purposely have a male business partner, because sometimes it is kind of a bit of a struggle. Sometimes they need to see a male like presence in order for our projects to get the respect that it deserves.
Oh
And
yeah.
and I know the importance of that. And I specifically was like, I wish I could, but I think it'll serve myself uh, a different perspective on how we do things, just to have a male involved in it. And then when talking business and sitting down with like sponsors and other partners and stuff, it helps. Even if he says nothing, even if I do all the talking and he sits back like the cool dude he is, network, and says nothing.
All he got to just sit there, nod his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, she for real.
Yeah.
Dead ass.
It doesn't work like that for
Facts.
me. And you're right. I have guys. I literally have these two guys who will vouch for me all the time. But it's more like, if I say something, they're not going to listen. So I have to send one of them to say the same thing that I said for them to listen.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, in your instance, you'll have a male in the room. Literally, they have to say the same thing that I just said in order for them to listen. So it shouldn't be like that, but
it shouldn't be like that way, V. But right. It is. But network and I, we call each other boss, right? Yeah. That helped us, right? Like, I'd be like, "What's up, boss?" So people are like, and then he'll walk into a room and he'll say, "What's up, boss?" And we address each other as that, right? And that kind of sets the tone too, because people try to, like what you're talking about, VA, they'll say something to him, right? And then it's kind of like, how as a kid you couldn't get your way, so you'd go to your mom and she's like, then you couldn't get your way, so then you go to your dad and then get your way. And sometimes that happens. And so we have to show people that we are aligned, that we are one, right? When you're talking to him, you're talking to me. And when you're talking to me, you're talking to him. And anything that him and I have a dispute with, we won't do it in front of anybody. You know what I mean? That's a respect, but it's needed. Like, that male energy is definitely needed in a lot of my situations, and I appreciate it. It makes things easier for sure.
I appreciate these guys. You know what I'm saying? My nickname is Boss, but
what's up, Boss? What's up, Boss?
I don't ever want them to call me Boss. Okay, ever.
So
Bossy.
Yeah. So that's what we
Bossy
always need to call.
No.
But
her no sounds like yes.
Hey,
yes.
But honestly though, like, fortunately, I don't recall a time where in the short amount of time I work with you that's happened.
No, you haven't ran into it yet. Kevin has, but I'm real big on hierarchy. Yeah, and I hate when somebody goes outside the hierarchy. So I'm gonna have to, because me personally, I'm gonna have to pull you to the side and be like, "Hey, here's how it works." I mean, it happens. Like I said, Kevin has had to deal with it before. But
because it may get addressed in a small way, but I'll have to pull him to the side later and be like, "Hey, here's how this works. The chain of command. Yeah. We need stuff to flow a certain way, and we really don't need you like stepping outside. Like, if you want to give a suggestion or whatever, this is not the time to do it right here. Yeah, you have to do it during this time. And if you weren't there for these particular times, I want to hear nothing, nothing."
Well, I think the time for you think is over.
Yeah, like, or if it's somebody that's like, an extra or whatever, and all it is like, hey, you just on set. Like, you don't need to say nothing.
So when the extras be extra.
That's
Bro, you
crazy.
ain't even supposed to talk. Like, what?
Oh.
Pantomime. The hell you giving
Nah,
out
it's
opinions
something
for?
else.
Nah, you remind me right now. All these professionals that are like, oh, I acted in this, I acted in this, and every chance like the camera like went anywhere close to them, they stared right at it.
Man.
Talk about how professional they are.
Oh,
Oh
my
my
God.
goodness.
Shout out to the
Oh my
extras.
goodness. Yeah, shout out to the extras.
So, as far as like respecting the hierarchy, now have you you in network? Have you ever been in a situation where someone has maybe tried to pit you two against each other?
Oh yes. And so especially with phone calls. So we do a lot of Zoom with like, okay, hey, we kind of talk a bit before we have these conversations because we kind of expecting for people to kind of do that sometimes. But it doesn't happen as much as it used to. But yeah, like we expect for it to happen for sure, and it has happened many times. And what we'll do to pretty much kill it is just to say, hey, I'll talk to network about that, and then we'll get back with you. And we try not to make any final decisions. Even if we already know what the decision is, we always say we're going to get back to you, and that allows us to go back and kind of sort out, okay, is there any private conversations or text messages or emails that you got that I didn't get that we need to kind of talk about and discuss. So we try to keep things aligned and in order that way to kind of just to keep down the confusion. And then of course we can't start beefing and stuff. That's absolutely a no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever had one of those like well, Flo said I could do this. Or no.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know what? There was an actor that actually said that. I remember hearing him like in the distance, and I think I had the boom mic, and I had the headphones on, listening to something, but the mic was still on. I said, I ain't say none of that shit. None of that. I'm loud on my back. Everybody just laugh, but yeah. It's all fun until it ain't fun no more, y'all. So.
I like the whole we'll get back to you because I know that secretly we'll tell you no later. But,
or you just ghost them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you're a direct, you got to be direct.
Oh hell, I will ghost you. I don't care. I'm not.
VA will do that. I think VA would definitely do that. With like no remorse.
You think I'm playing?
Here's the thing with you is because you could be as direct as you are a ghoster. So
I will ghost you.
It was
like, and I
you're
don't feel
even
bad
direct
about it.
in your ghosting. Like you'll walk right past that person. Like, didn't you know him in a past life? Maybe.
Like a Carl Thomas song, huh? Like, God damn.
Why are you wasting my time? That's my question. Like, if you knew you were gonna do what you did, why are you wasting my time? I can't get that time back. So why are you wasting my time? I just ghost you.
Maybe they looked at you as somebody to play with.
Oh.
Fuck around and find out.
the way Flo eyes just popped up when you said, like,
I'm telling you, they don't fuck around and find out.
For real? So apparently that is a trigger phrase for women everywhere. Because both of y'all was like, who played? Who played? It was about to be a wrestling match up in here.
Hey, Flo's finna come through the screen. You hear me?
Like Ghost Daddy.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Like Ghost Daddy. Telling you.
Oh my goodness.
Never say that phrase out loud again.
I just had a flashback.
You both did. I saw it.
What you said? Cool down.
I'm trying to calm down over here.
They done
boy.
got hot. They done got hot.
Oh my goodness. What episode is this? Oh my God.
This is a
Oh my
dangerous one,
God.
apparently.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
So
Ask us a subtle question. Jesus.
That was more a statement than a question.
But
it was a wrong statement. It was the wrong one. So,
It's not looking good, guys.
so Flav, ask you this.
Yeah, what's up?
We're gonna keep this more friendly. So, why would you say it's important to have more women in film?
Oh God. I think it's important to have women in film. You mean when you say behind the scene or on the screen? What are we talking? Are we just talking
I'm
about
talking. I mean, y'all work behind the scenes. I'm talking behind the scenes.
behind the scene? Oh yeah, because I mean the same reason it's important for women to be a part of anything, y'all. It's just like it. When I really think about this, we can do this too. It's simple as that. We have the right to do this too, and we also are damn good at doing it as well. And I think having that representation is kind of we're helping open up the doors for some 5-year old or 12-year-old girl that picked up a camera or has a story to tell, right? We're inspirations to them. And as we continue to kind of move forward and evolve in film and in entertainment and media abroad, like it's important to see our faces there. It's important to see that, I can do this and I do a good job at doing it. And it's not just something that I do as a hobby. I can do this as a professional, you know. Um, I think I do this for my younger self. I started out as an actress, completely moved away from that. But then I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this for my younger self and for all the other young Flows and VAs and other girls out there. It's like, we can do this, y'all, and we do a good job at doing it. I think it's important to have us there because, if you're going to have us in front of the camera, we should also be behind the camera, being able to direct those talents as well and have a personal touch and input and influence on those talents.
Right. And
Yeah.
not to say the same thing that women can tell those men stories too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
You
true.
do your research, women can tell those men stories too. Put it down on paper and direct it, put it together, and it'd be just as good as a man telling that story.
Well, I mean,
Director wise.
I'm like, for me, it's perspective.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
each story
Yeah.
needs to be told in a certain perspective
Yeah.
to get the most out of the story.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean that's all it is for me. Like I don't care the sex, creed, religion, anything like that,
Mhm.
because like you're gonna have the right people around you. You should
Right.
have the right people around you. If you don't, that's a you problem. I mean, like if you can't find the talent to be able to like help you out,
Right.
because like it's a collaborative thing. It's a team sport,
Yeah.
and like it's our job to create the best team. And I think everybody's is the right people need to be for the right project.
Do you
Yeah.
think the representation of like, and not just necessarily women, but like stories of people of color, I think people of color need to be involved in those stories about women or LGBT. I think the representation needs to also be involved in how that story is told, right?
Right.
And not just having a whole bunch of men telling stories about women issues and problems and things, right?
Well, I mean,
So
I don't think I would necessarily be comfortable without telling certain stories without certain inputs, and like even just like even from a outsider consultant, it'd be
Mhm.
like, hey, it, if it's like if I was telling a Jackie Robinson story, I would
Mhm.
want to have some ties to the family,
Mhm. Mhm.
and then I would want to have the family's okay,
Right.
especially a historical story like that. And
Mhm.
like it wouldn't matter like if it was Jackie Robinson or if it was like insert what's the first female astronaut, the Emma C something. Yeah, like if I was telling her story, it'd be the same way. I would want family buy-in, and I would have to have a woman in a critical role to be able to tell the story
That
that
story. Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right.
Now let's think like, well, now whether purposely or impurposely, films and television shapes narratives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you show show a film of a certain group of people in a certain way long enough, the society in which this film lives in believe those people are what they saw in those films.
Mhm.
Especially like a lot of how people of color, especially black people, are seen throughout society.
Right.
Film and TV, rather purposely or impurposely, has shaped that narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, for decades, how women have been seen throughout society, what we've gotten from film is probably gotten from film and television.
Yeah.
Right? You can make an argument they've been sexualized a lot sooner.
Music videos.
Yeah, through music videos, movies. So there's this expectation to be seen a certain way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So now you're dealing with a society that has judgments upon you that women had no say so in.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, hey, gotta be careful because some of the casting directors, a great deal of those music videos have been women, and then it may not necessarily be the money people, but they have people involved in certain parts of it.
You talking about the booty shaking music video?
Yeah, a lot of them. Like they like exclusively
BET
they'll
after
have
10
like
videos.
they'll exclusively they'll have female casting directors.
Yeah, that's because they don't want no lack. I
Yeah.
believe that
Yeah.
I mean, I would not do that, but I believe that the men were like, well, we don't want no lack. Let's just get a female in here to do it.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it's one of them females who was in the booty shaking video and was like, well, I'll do it because I know what it is shaking my booty.
Well, I know at least one that wasn't a booty shaker, and she's a very respectable woman, and she hadn't done like a ton of the booty shaking music video, but she was casting director for music videos for a long time.
Oh wow.
Well,
Yeah. Male or female, some ass was gonna be shaking in that video. Some tips was gonna be drilled.
What I'm glad you said that. I'm glad. No. Seriously, I'm glad you said that because
You're welcome.
Nelly got a bunch of flack for doing the credit card thing, but it was that woman's idea. She's like, "Oh, you should do this to me,"
yeah.
and I'm like, that's a tough one. I ain't doing that.
But at the same time, he got a lot of flag for it. But if he knew it was gonna be a problem, shouldn't he said no?
But I don't think
He wasn't thinking about it.
I don't think he was.
They were in the moment.
As a guy, I even wouldn't have thought of it. But like the
Yeah.
fact, it was the woman who brought the idea up. That's just a detail. The image is usually stronger than the detail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, no one's Googling whose idea was this. It's just Nelly swiping her credit cards up some girl's
No,
ass.
honestly, most people don't think about the stuff, and it's the like what you said. It's not the detail. It's the imagery.
Right.
Mhm.
Now, as we wrap this up, I wanted to, Flo, you gotta talk to us about the new project that you're currently working on.
Oh yeah, definitely. So it's Ballin' Bars and Bricks. Ballin' Bars and Bricks. It's gonna be out this summer. We're gonna be releasing the trailer to that soon. Folks can go and see the trailer at streetcodefilms.com, and that's code with the K. It's a project that I'm extremely excited about. It's my first feature film project, written by myself and produced by myself and my partner network. We started filming this, I think, May last year. So last summer. I think our first production day was the 25th. So our new production company with my production company, Even Flow Media Group, and then also Network Digital, we came together, and that is what creates Street Code Official. And that was born just a year ago this month. So yeah, I'm extremely excited about it. We have Tom Ski Mask. He's a legendary Memphis hip hop artist, and a whole bunch of other independent artists, models, and other talents that have really helped us put this project together. We're excited about it. We have a great distribution deal, and will be viewable to 90 million homes very soon.
That's what's up.
Bingo.
Oh, look at that.
That thing just happened like right. Sounds like money's in your future. That's what it
Yeah,
sounds like.
Yeah.
Look, she playing that. She playing that.
I hope so.
Well, once again, Flo, thank you for taking time out to talk to us today and give us your
Most
thoughts.
definitely.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me. And much love, much blessings. I wish I could have been there in person, but I appreciate the invitation.
It's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. Once again, I am Kevin Mumphrey with my colleagues Karsten Height Farguson, Victoria V.A. Jones,
What's going on?
and that is a wrap.
Yeah, it is.